Hello everyone, this is the introduction to the graphic design process. There are 4 basic steps of the graphic design process. Number 1, communicate. Number 2, research. Number 3, ideate. And number 4, formalize. The graphic design process is not an exact science. Therefore, some variation in the steps does exist. Note that some of the steps overlap. For example, the designer communicates with the client often, not just at the beginning of the process. Step 1. Communicate. Determine the needs of the client. Before any designing can take place, the designer must determine the needs of the client. This is accomplished by means of an interview, questionnaire, or survey. Sometimes a combination of these is used. Communicate the basic questions. Number 1, who is the client? Their business, the audience, etc. Number 2, what exact work is needed? The specifications, the scope, etc. For example, are you designing a t-shirt, a poster, packaging for a product? What are the colors? What's the mood? All sorts of questions. Number 3, when they need the work, the timeline and the final due date. And number 4, how the stages of work and compensation will be handled. While you're in the classroom, you won't actually be receiving compensation, but you should know it for future knowledge because one of these days you might be a graphic designer. Communicate the design brief. After the needs are determined via the interview, the information is organized into a document known as the design brief. The design brief guides the rest of the process and is used to help make all critical decisions. Let's take a look at Google Classroom now. Here is the poster that we are designing for our client. Here, under the graphic design process step 1, you'll see the client interview questions. Print these questions out and have them with you when you're interviewing the client. Write down the answers and after the interview, come type them up in this document and submit it. Next, open the design brief and summarize the information from the client interviews into concise statements that describe the goals of the project, and write that in the document below and then submit it. That's it for now. Have fun!